Okay, I think it's even behind me. Hey, it's Brianna. Today's video is a Q&A full of so many life updates. I put a post up on Instagram and there was over 260 something questions in the comments. So what I tried to do is I read through them and put them into categories, and I have 10 sort of most frequently asked topics or questions that I'm going to talk about, including a really exciting announcement that I have been waiting to share with you guys that I can't wait to tell you about at the end. But if you are new here, I hope you click that red subscribe button and follow me on my socials so we can connect on there as well. But I'm gonna dive right into some of these rapid fire questions, and I'm gonna put everyone who asked it or whoever asked it first, your handle on the screen, to kind of give you guys a little shout out and just thank you so much for all of the really fun questions so that I can make today's video. I've got them all on my laptop here. Do you know what you're being for Halloween, and what's your favorite fall activity? I have no idea what our family is going to be for Halloween yet. Leave ideas in the comments. I have no idea what would be good for me, Adam, Landon, and Presley to do a family costume, because I would love for us to all be something together. Favorite fall activity, going to the apple orchard. I posted a bunch of pictures on my Instagram from there. It's one of my favorite things to do every single fall. Favorite Halloween movie and treat. Favorite Halloween movie, Harry Potter. I think that falls into that category, right? And treats, probably the Reese's Pumpkins. Favorite Disney princess, Princess Jasmine is my favorite. It was my room decor when I was a little girl too. Am I right or left-handed? So this is weird. I was born left-handed, but my mom switched me when I was a little girl. So I technically write with my right hand, but that's why you do see me in my videos do things with both hands, because I do still do a lot of things with my left hand. Cake or ice cream? I think ice cream. Chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Favorite concert? There's been so many good concerts that I've gone to, but I think my absolute favorite was I saw Boys Like Girls in college, and we met Martin, the lead singer, out in the lobby, and he grabbed my sister when this mob of people realized it was him, and they got smashed against a wall together. So we threw our shirts, we purchased shirts, we didn't take off our shirts or anything like that, but we threw them up to her and he signed our shirts for us. So that was always a really cool memory. Favorite YouTube collab so far? The Real Housewives of YouTube Vegas vacation, without a doubt, was beyond fun. I cannot wait to plan our next trip with those girls. Where should we go? Let me know some ideas in the comments, where's another fun girls trip. What was me and Adam's wedding song? It was I Can't Wait by Runner Runner. That was our first dance, but I came down the aisle to a acoustic version of Ho Hey by the Lumineers. So I feel both are kind of our songs, or wedding songs, I mean. Anywhere in the world that you could visit at the moment? I'm just dying to get back to Europe, honestly. There's so many places in Europe I want to go see, and some are in the works right now. I lumped these two together. What are my favorite podcasts and favorite books? So favorite books of all time, Harry Potter is definitely up there. I'm also a huge fan of Nicholas Sparks novels. That's actually where Landon's name is from, A Walk to Remember, a book by Nicholas Sparks. And favorite podcasts. So I listen to 2 different kinds. I really like the murder thriller sort of podcast. So I really like Serial, and I like Up and Vanished. That one I get scared if I'm listening to it alone in my house, even if it's broad daylight. I get so many goosebumps. And then I like really motivational podcasts. So I really like Jenna Kutcher's Gold Digger podcast. I listen to that in the mornings to get hyped up. Rachel Hollis, she has a Rise podcast and a Rise Together that actually Adam and I have listened to some of the episodes and debriefed them together. So that one's a really good uplifting one for couples. So those are my current favorites at the moment. All right, let's move into the juicier, or I shouldn't say juicier, but the meatier life update topics. There's been so much, you guys, so much. And there was definitely repetitive questions over and over again about a lot of these topics. So we'll dive right in. I did get a lot of questions about my new Instagram look, and I was so excited because I love doing things that inspire you guys, and I feel like I got my new iPhone, I got the XS, I was due for an upgrade for a long time, and Adam made me hold out, and I'm so happy that I got this new phone because the camera quality is just awesome. And I ended up then getting presets, which if you are interested, I'll link them. I think I said this on an Insta story, but I feel like even if you're not a YouTuber or blogger, having presets for your phone pictures when then you print them for putting them in frames around your house, it just makes them look so much brighter and so much more professional. And I just think they're really worth it. Like, they're really not that expensive, especially the pack I got. It's like 30 presets, so you can play around with which ones you like the best and which ones fit the kind of pictures that you have the best, because I think indoor and outdoor can have different ones. I'm like totally nerding out here, so you can't tell about like photography and Instagram and all of this, but yes, in short, I hope that you're appreciating the new look of my Instagram feed, and I'll link those presets down below because I've had a lot of people ask which ones I've been using, and it's in that pack and it's called Bright 3. And I have my phone here. I'm still waiting for them to come out with like good cases for the XS. There really weren't that many case options. So I just got this OtterBox one that has like a little bit of glitter, but I just love the like actual rose gold coloring because it's like a very muted rose gold color on this phone. I'm obsessed with it. Next topic is my dad, and I've gotten a lot of questions in the comments on that picture. I've also gotten a lot of DMs and just comments on my YouTube videos too about this, and I just want to say thank you. I really do believe in the power of prayer and the power of positive thought, and I think this community has been so amazingly supportive. And I just want to be honest, like, I started out kind of vlogging it because I'd sort of decided this summer, just because I was home with the kids and able to vlog more, that I wanted to vlog more. And so when my dad fell and had that initial stay in the hospital and then ended up going to rehab, just to kind of fill you in on like the timeline, I was vlogging. And so I think a lot of you saw my like real raw initial reactions to everything that was happening. And then if you've noticed over the last month, I haven't really done the like vlogs as regularly as that, or if I have, it's been more like snippets of routines. I think I still have done some day in the lives, but here's the reason why I've kind of taken a step back. YouTube has always been something for me that has been my fun, creative outlet, and I get so much joy from doing YouTube. And just being real, when I had to edit those videos and relive that footage, and when you're editing, sometimes you have to like watch it once, twice, 3 times as you're kind of like going through your videos, it just brought up so much more painful emotions that I don't want that to be my experience when I'm editing YouTube. And there are certain things I'm sure I will want to share, and I'm not going to try to disguise my emotions. Like, I'm a human, I'm gonna have emotions, and I'll share as much as I can, but I just wanna be real that right now, with all of the pain that I'm going through on the daily visiting my dad, like, I just want YouTube to be a bit of my escape and a creative outlet for me. And I just wanna thank you, because I think all of you have been so supportive and so kind to me and given my dad and our family so many prayers to get through this rough time, and it still is really rough. So I did just want to give an update, and I really didn't want to cry. He's been on hospice for just over a week now as I'm filming this. When you're seeing this, it will almost be 2 weeks. That was a really hard, I think, decision to make, but I think it was really important, because if you've ever known anybody with MS or any other kind of chronic illness, like, I get where he's at. Like, if my body was that out of control, like, I would want anything that felt like I was getting that power back, or like that decision making back, since I couldn't have that control of my own body. And we made the decision together, and we called a bunch of places, and we found the one that suited him and what he's going through the best. And I just have to say, like, since he's made this decision, and since he's been getting that extra care from the nurses and nurses aid, and there's a chaplain who comes in and he like plays guitar, and music is such a big part of our family. I mean, my daughter's name is Presley, and I've seen in his mood since this decision, like, so much more positive days when it comes to his mental health and his mood than I saw until this point. Physically, he's really weak. His kidneys almost failed him, but luckily we got an IV in, or I should say the nurses got an IV in, and he restabilized. But I think like the hospice nurses have just been preparing me, and like the head nurse calls me every single day after he sees my dad and kind of gives me his take on everything, because I'm not a health professional, so just don't know. And there's definitely just like signs that he is getting weaker and weaker, and he kind of prepared me for like, when you start seeing this, like just know that like it's probably getting closer to the end. So yeah, so I wanted to just give that update, and I am, you know, taking the kids every single day. We get frappuccinos. I think my dad's almost tried every frap flavor from Starbucks at this point, because that's just one of the only things he can actually get in his stomach at this point. And it's, I think, kind of my nice little treat that I get to bring in for him. So, but I will update when I'm feeling strong enough to. But I just again want to thank you so much for the prayers and support. It really means so much to me. Okay, this next topic, I feel like it's very related to that, but it was, what do you do to pull yourself out of an emotional funk? Or like, how are you dealing with all of the responsibilities you have of being a wife and a mom and a homeowner and a daughter and just everything that's going on. And this is something that I've never done before, but it is helping me so much. I've begun going to therapy, and I just, again, have to thank you all, because some of you did in the comments say, I really hope that you're going to talk to someone with everything that you have going on. And this, I think, just like my Instagram and the presets, why didn't I do this sooner? I wish I had probably gone to therapy back in high school when I had perfectionism issues, or in college when I was really grappling with my parents' divorce. But I think this has just been such an avalanche of just lots of things. There's been so many transitions with our family lately. Like, I left my full-time job. I mean, Presley just turned 1 year old in May, so we had been like adjusting to being a family of 4. And it wasn't all that long ago that we'd moved into our house, and there had just been so many things. And just like life, it is so true. When like it rains, it pours. And I think I was drowning, and starting therapy, I don't know why I didn't, you know, ask for that life preserver sooner. I've been going for about a month now, and it is through an online therapy website. It's called BetterHelp. I will link this down below in case you want to check this out for yourself. And I just want to say, like, I think all of the things I'd heard about therapy before going that like made me hold back, like cost was one, would it be covered by my insurance? And the cost of BetterHelp, you can actually apply if you need any kind of aid or financial assistance on their site. But when I was looking at what actually the co-pays would be, and thinking about driving to an actual therapist office, which I was a little intimidated by, because I assumed, and that this is generally what happens, like I'm a crying hot mess a lot of the times after my therapy sessions, because you're going through really raw, real, painful stuff. And I was always kind of like, oh my gosh, if I'm out in public, that gave me a lot of anxiety. So the fact that I can have a video conference with my therapist, or have a phone conference with my therapist, and that she messages me almost every single day in between our actual video or phone therapy sessions to check in on me, give me helpful worksheets. I just feel like I am dealing with everything, and I got matched with the perfect therapist for me. So this was one of the other things that held me back. A lot of people who'd gone to therapy told me like, well, it's kind of like dating. Like, you're gonna have to date around different therapists and figure out which one's gonna work for you the best. But when I signed up for BetterHelp, I took like a questionnaire about, these are the things I'm dealing with, this is the type of therapist I want to look for. And honestly, they matched me to someone who's perfect. She is a female. She's a mom. She's actually dealt with death in her family. So I just feel like, from being a working mom, from having dealt with loss personally, and her kids also dealing with loss, because that was one of, I think, my biggest concerns as a mom, of like, am I doing this right for my kids? Or like, are there things I should be doing for Landon and Presley? Even though I know they're very young, they still perceive a lot. So I just didn't want to mess up as a mom. And she has helped me so much, you guys. And there's just other things that I feel like she's made me think about when it comes to my self-care and my relationships and my perfectionism. She's just helped me so much. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. So I just want to say to you, like, if you are experiencing anything really stressful, or if you're having any kind of anxiety, or if you are postpartum and are just feeling like this isn't just the baby blues, this is something more real, I really, really hope you check out BetterHelp. It averages cost-wise, depending where you're located, it's $35 to at most $65 a week. So to me, like, this is the same as like going to get my nails done. That's basically what the cost of it is, but it is like the best self-care thing I have ever done for myself. And I just don't know what, at this point, like, I really don't know what I would be like, the place I would be in with everything going on had I not started this a month ago. So I just wanted to share that with all of you in case you are in a similar place, or if you were like me and like had anxiety or fears about actually going to see a therapist, knowing that you have some really raw things that you're dealing with. It just feels very safe and comfortable that I can do it online from my computer at my own home. So I wanted to share it with all of you, and hopefully it will help you if you need that. All right, the next topic is Landon's speech evaluation. So I have a huge update on this. So 2 weeks ago, I got the call that there was an opening for me to bring him in for his initial speech evaluation. So we blew off nap time to get him in, and it was really illuminating. The speech therapist had this notebook, and she like flipped through all of these different pictures. And she even said to me, like, wow, he knows words. Like, his vocabulary for not even 3.5 is huge. She's like, the things he could identify in the pictures and the sentences he was saying, like, he's incredibly intelligent, which was really, really sweet. But there are a lot of issues with how he's actually pronouncing things that are happening with his tongue. She showed me a lot of exercises that are sort of our homework for in between his therapy sessions, which he's going to begin going every single week. Just to fit him into the schedule though, we had to like wait 2 weeks, but he's going to start going every single week this upcoming week. And then she said, depending on his progress, we can then go down to every other week. But we had to use like popsicle stick, like tongue depressors, and do different activities. She gave me a bunch of different sounds that we kind of like continue rotating through. We do this every single day. So I just wanted to give an update on it and say, like, for those of you, again, in the comments who like said something, and I know you were coming from a place of just wanting what's best for Landon and his future, and I really sincerely appreciate that, because could he have maybe been okay like a couple years from now? Like, would it have kind of worked itself out? She's like, for the most part, there still could have been some things that he might have had trouble saying, but she's like, the fact that you are being really proactive and doing this now, it's going to help him so much in like preschool and his ability to communicate and his social development. It basically holds kids back socially if their peers can't understand them. So she's like, it's going to help his social development a lot, which is actually incredibly important for like preparing your child for kindergarten. The camera died on me. This is going to be a long Q&A, but I think you all expected this. There was a lot of updates in this. And just thank you again for people who cared enough to say something, because I know you are coming from a place of love and concern, and being a first-time mom, and even though I was a teacher, I taught 7th grade, so I just wouldn't necessarily know, like, oh, that's ahead for 3, that's behind for 3. So thank you, because I think there were some speech therapists or like professionals who work with kids who are Landon's age who said something. So thank you very much. I like literally, I don't know what I would do without you as a community. You guys are the best community I could have ever asked for. Thank you. So I thought this was a cute question. It was, what do you adore most about Landon, Presley, and Adam? So I'll start with my husband first. I feel like what I adore most about him is just how open-minded he is. He's so good at putting himself in the position of others. That also goes with, like, he doesn't ever judge anyone for the position that they're in. Like, he really just seeks to understand. And I think he's a bit of a sensitive soul, if that makes sense. And I appreciate that. Like, I think that's something I really admire, that he has that quality and like isn't quick to judge anyone. What do I adore most about Landon? Oh, so many things. I think the big way though that we are connected, and I did a video a long time ago about love languages, and if you haven't heard of them, just Google like the 5 love languages. But I am physical touch, and I can definitely see Landon having physical touch as one of his love languages, because he'll just know. He'll know instantly, especially like hard days with my dad. He's like, Mommy, I need to give you a hug, or when he'll like ask to hold my hand. So it just makes me as a mom feel so fulfilled. And I asked this in my video, and I sort of realized this. If I give him a hug, he'll open up and talk to me so much more. So I definitely think that that's his love language as well. And then Presley. She is just so funny, you guys. Like, I adore her sense of humor. I can't wait until she can actually speak, because I'm just going to bet money that she is going to be so witty and like sarcastic and funny. Like just her mannerisms, and you've probably seen this in some of the videos. She just like will crack herself up. She'll crack all of us up. She makes little faces where she like scrunches her nose. I just like, oh, I love her so much. I'm so proud of being their mom, and I'm so lucky that they're my people and they're my family. So yeah, that was a very sweet question. I've gotten this question from a couple people of, will I ever do merchandise, or is there anything? And I've got some things that I'm working on and that I've got in my head too that I really want to do. So I think I just need life to settle a bit, and then I definitely want to explore merch and some of the other business ideas that I have in my head. So speaking of business, I think this is the most frequently asked question below that picture. Maybe baby number 3 was up there, and I will talk about baby number 3 in a little bit. But my new job. So if you haven't been following, I have worked full time since I've had my babies. With Landon, I was working in an office job, and then I got a new role as a recruitment manager when I was pregnant with Presley, and that allowed me to work from home except for when I had to travel to be on campuses or at conferences. And I left that position at the end of June, and I had a new job lined up for this fall. And I thought this was perfect timing because Landon was starting preschool, and then my dad fell at the end of July, and I was still intending on getting started this fall once Landon went back to school. But I think with what I shared with you, that he is on hospice, that kind of sealed the deal for me, that I don't think I want to do anything that's going to take time away from my family right now. And it's really hard. Like, you know, being a working mom has been such a part of my identity. Like, I was the first person in my family to go to college. Like, I worked dang hard for my degrees. But what I think is amazing, and I have you to thank for this, because of you and because of this community that we have, I can actually do this as my full-time job for now. God had a plan for all of this, and I think that's why you are all here. I think that's why, thank God, like the season of recruitment like ends at the end of June. Like, the new people always start the first week of July in that role, because had I stayed in that position, I would have actually been in Atlanta at a conference the entire week, and my dad fell at the beginning of that week. So nobody would have even gone over to his place necessarily to like check on him and see that he was okay. Because when he fell at like 2 o'clock in the morning and called the front desk at 9 o'clock when they opened, like when his apartment complex front desk opened. And so the only reason I even knew he fell is they called me, and I was able to go over there, and he acted like nothing was wrong for 3 days until I had to like force him to go to the hospital. So I just think in my head, like, I don't even know if he would still be here with us had I continued working. And that's where I like say, like, he had a plan. The timing was what it was, and because of all of you, I do have the flexibility right now that like financially I can do this full time for right now and have the time with my family that I would not have if I started a new job. So I think some of you have just noticed like, oh, clearly in your stories and clearly in the videos that you're doing, like it doesn't seem like you've started a new job, and I'm not going to be starting it. And again, I think there's just so much, and that's where like therapy has been helping me so much. But I do just have to say thank you, because you are allowing me to still be supporting my family by doing YouTube full time and have time with my family that I would not have if I went back to a traditional work role. So just thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me through all of this. And I know some of you have been here since I was like pregnant with Presley. So you have seen, some of you have been here since I actually did like a day in the life way back when I worked in an office when I had Landon. So it's just crazy. And I just want to thank you, and I appreciate all of you, because whether you are a stay-at-home mom, whether you work in an office, whether you work full-time from home, whether you work part-time, whether you're working and have a side hustle and, you know, are doing whatever type of a role that you're in, I appreciate it so much, because I feel like I've kind of been in all of those situations, and I just am so grateful for all of the love and support and you being there for me so that I can be there for my family right now. And if you have stuck around until this point of the video, thank you, because I'm going to touch on, I think, two of the things I'm most excited to talk about. So baby number 3, Adam and I have talked, and while we are not like trying right now, I think you guys know he wanted to stop after 2. So I think the fact that he's even on board with baby number 3 at this point, I'm so excited for. So I'll be sure, like when we do start TTCing, I will, you know, update everyone on that. So we're not TTCing right now. Again, like I just want to get myself into a really good place, like physically and mentally, before we do something like having another baby. Unless again, God has other plans, I don't know. You know, our family planning method would have to go awry if that is the case. So I will keep everybody posted on that. But the one thing that Adam and I have talked about that I think would be so cool for this pregnancy is that with Landon and Presley, we did gender reveals. And I think with this baby, just to make it different, I think I will wait this time. I might change my mind, because I don't know, I'm like such a planner, but I do just think like that would be the one thing that would make this pregnancy completely different from my other ones. So we'll see. Somebody asked that in the questions though, so I think we'd keep the gender a secret, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, let me just check my questions fast and make sure I've answered all of them before the big announcement. Oh, I didn't answer this one. Somebody asked, what is the funniest thing Landon has ever said? And I had to tell you guys, because this happened when I was driving him to preschool the other day. Out of nowhere, he's like, Mommy, do you know that my teacher has boobs? I was like, well, yeah, all women have boobs, honey. That's how we feed our babies. I thought that was pretty funny. All right, big announcement time. I have been wanting to do this for so long, and just because of time was never actually able to execute on it. And I had fully intended for this to be something that would happen over the summer, when I thought I was gonna have this summer time to do so many things. But, you know, honestly, God has other plans. Everything, you know, happens by his design. So I'm excited to share it with you today, but I am launching my blog. I had a blog when I was pregnant with Landon, actually, that I did pregnancy updates on. And then once I had him, I started my YouTube channel. So I kind of just was doing YouTube as my creative outlet. But I've decided to, once a week, if I decide to change that, I will let you know. But once a week, there will be a blog post from me. And the reason why I decided to do this is just like that Instagram post with like 260 something questions. There are so many topics that you all will ask me to cover, and either it like doesn't work for video format, which was like my really number one motivator, is I just think that there are things that I can talk about and write about and also just explain better written than necessarily in a video where I'm thinking about what shots would help show this. Like there are a lot of things I've learned about being a mom or learned about being a homeowner are different things that I just think I can write down and tell you, here's what I learned in these experiences, or especially travel. I get so many questions on things while you're traveling with your kids that I don't have my video camera out in those moments to like show you, but I could write it down and tell you about it. So I just wanted to be able to start that blog to cover things, be helpful, and I really do love writing. Like, I went to college for broadcast journalism. My master's is in communications. I was an English teacher, and don't judge me because I'm not gonna sit here and say everything I do has perfect grammar, because I think that's the first thing I threw out of the window on social media, just to be honest, because of mom life being crazy and hectic. But I really, really, really enjoy writing. So point being, I'm excited to have this as an outlet and have it as a space where we can continue to build this community that we have here, and where I can share things and cover topics that are more difficult for me to cover in videos. And if you head over to the blog post, because of all of these questions, I am going to have a post up with a bunch of the questions that you asked that I couldn't answer in this video, because Lord knows how long this video already is going to be. But I'll have some of my answers to your questions on the blog today, so make sure you go check them out and see if your questions over there. And I just want to thank you so much, one, for watching this video if you've gotten to this point, two, for subscribing and being a part of this community and this incredible support network. I really, especially these last couple of months, do not know what I would have done without all of you. You've kept me going, you've kept me positive, reading your kind words and support and hearing about the prayers, and some of you who've even said, like, I've added you to my prayer list at church. Like, I just got goosebumps even saying that. Like, it's just incredible. And I really do think that's why, like, I've gotten more time with my dad at this point. So thank you. And I'll just continue to keep you guys updated on everything, and I will see you in my next video. And I really hope you go over and check out the blog, and I will always share with you guys if there's going to be more posts or anything exciting going on over there too. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, loves.